Every NBA team works all year to assemble the talent required to win a championship. Sometimes a team may assemble a squad full of exceptional players and be sure to win their division to make noise in the postseason. Basketball isn't a written game. The 2021-2022 Lakers learned this season that success is about more than just having all-stars. Injuries also play a role. Luck also has a role. They are out of the playoffs and likely to finish the season with 50 losses despite having 5 future Hall of Famers on the roster. Are the 2022 Lakers the NBA's most disappointing team ever? Let's find out in today's video. Here are the 7 most disappointing teams in NBA history. At number 7, the New York Knicks from 2007 to 2008. It was a perfect storm for the 2013-2014 New York Knicks. Carmelo Anthony, at 29 years old, was the superstar in his peak who commanded a double team whenever he went close to the basket, while Amar'e Stoudemire, at 31, had been averaging over 25 points per game in New York, and he still had an explosive first step and good finishing ability around the rim. Tyson Chandler was a great rim protector, J.R. Smith was a confident offensive player, and Raymond Felton was a solid facilitator. The Knicks were expected to win 50 games. Instead, they flopped. Carmelo Anthony had 3.1 assists per game despite a 32.4% usage rate, while Amar'e Stoudemire was a shell of his former self after microfracture surgery. The Knicks gave up halfway through the season, finishing with a 24th ranked defense. The Knicks finished 8 games under 500 in 2013 through 2014, a season they were expected to contend. At number 6, the LA Lakers from 2012 to 2013. The Lakers opened the 2012 season with high expectations after signing Steve Nash and Dwight Howard. Howard, at 27, was a 3-time Defensive Player of the Year, a one-man buzzsaw who offered generational weak-side defense. Steve Nash, at 38, had a great season with Phoenix the year before, averaging 10.7 assists per game. The Lakers had 2-time champions Pau Gasol and Kobe Bryant. Metta World Peace, at 33, was still a top perimeter defender and scorer. The Lakers finished 8 games above 500 in 2013 and made the playoffs, but the season was a nightmare. Dwight Howard resented his lack of paint touches as a dominant post-up center. Steve Nash and Pau Gasol were injured, while Metta World Peace lost a step. Kobe Bryant, at 34, famously averaged 38.6 minutes per game before tearing his Achilles in the last week of the season. The Lakers went on to get booted by the Spurs in the first round. At number 5, the Brooklyn Nets in 2013 and 2014. The 2012-2013 Nets went 49-33 with Brook Lopez, Deron Williams, and Joe Johnson. Brooklyn had a chance to go far in the playoffs before losing to the Chicago Bulls in the first round. GM Billy King traded Paul Pierce, Kevin Garnett, and Jason Terry to the Boston Celtics for Gerald Wallace, Chris Humphries, Chris Joseph, Keith Bogans, Marshawn Brooks, and first-round picks in 2014, 2016, and 2018. In 75 regular season games, Paul Pierce, at 36, averaged 13.5 points per game while playing fatigue defense. Kevin Garnett, at 37, played 54 games, averaging 6.5 points per game. He only appeared in 35 games and averaged 4.5 points per game. With their youth and depth gone, Lopez, Johnson, and Williams kept the Nets competitive. The Nets ended 44-38 and lost in 5 games to the Miami Heat in the second round of the playoffs. The Nets had a great team, but aging and injuries made it one of their worst ever. At number 4, the Indiana Pacers from 2005 to 2006. The 2003-04 Pacers finished 61-21 and lost in 6 games to the Pistons in the Eastern Conference Finals. They wanted to win their first championship in 2004-05, and they had all the pieces. Metta World Peace was a Defensive Player of the Year who could shoot from deep, play bully ball in the post, and go to the rim at will. Jermaine O'Neal was a rim protector second only to Dwight Howard. Steven Jackson was a top-tier perimeter option who could score at any time, and Reggie Miller, at 39, was still on the team, making outside shots. The Pacers were 7-0 before the malice at the Palace, and the Pacers also lost O'Neal and Jackson for a long time due to suspensions. Indiana's culture was shattered, and they finished 44-38 before losing to the Pistons in the Eastern Conference semis. The Pacers might have easily won the 2005 title, but a fateful November night ended their aspirations. At number 3, the Dallas Mavericks in 2005 and 2006. The Mavericks entered the 2006-2007 season seeking revenge for blowing a 2-0 lead to the Miami Heat the year before. Frontcourt duo Dirk Nowitzki and Josh Howard led Dallas. Dirk dominated the league, averaging 24.6 points per game and 41.6% from deep. Josh Howard was a two-way beast who tormented opposing perimeter players on defense and lived at the rack on offense. Terry and Harris were a great starting backcourt. and Harris utilized his speed to get into the lane and worry opposing point guards on defense. The Mavericks dominated the league, posting one of the best regular seasons ever. They went into the playoffs as the clear favorites, but Baron Davis, Steven Jackson, and the Warriors took them down in 6 games. The Mavs became the first #1 seed to lose a best-of-7 series to an 8th seed, capping off one of the NBA's worst seasons ever. At number 2, the OKC Thunder from 2016 to 2017. In exchange for Paul George, the Pacers gave up Victor Oladipo and Domantas Sabonis. Then came Carmelo Anthony, who waived his no-trade clause, allowing the Knicks to trade for the Thunder. OKC had a plan, but it never came to fruition. The Thunder finished the regular season with a 48-34 record before losing to the Utah Jazz 2-4 in a catastrophic first round in which Russell Westbrook tried to take over with a 39.0 usage percentage. Paul George and Carmelo Anthony closed out the 2018 playoffs by standing around perimeter, hands on hips, and frowning. And at number 1, the LA Lakers in 2021 and 2022. As we mentioned before, this team included Hall of Famers LeBron James, Anthony Davis, Russell Westbrook, Carmelo Anthony, and Dwight Howard. The Lakers were the second preseason betting favorite to win a championship, according to Vegas. At this point, we all know how this ended out. The Lakers have since missed the playoffs and are outside the top 10 in a decimated Western Conference that may see them lose 50 games. Well guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Be sure to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so that you never miss a video. We'll see you guys next time.